So I'm Matt Morse. I've been with Dovetail since the beginning. Handle most of the design and front end of Dovetail's efforts. Really get into the creative side. And then this is BRET Roman. I'll let you talk about yourself.
I'm more of the on-site field person in the company. Matt and I formed the company, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yep.
Built half dozen or so houses.
So let's talk a little bit about what you do that's different than you would say other builders.
Sure. So most important difference that we do, other than other builders, is focus on the lot, how the lot is going to marry up with the design, and how that design is going to marry up with the lifestyle of people ultimately living in the home. The design and the lot kind of come together mostly as a function of the daylight that's available. So the orientation to the southern exposure is the most critical element in the choice of the home design for the lot. So we work with that always in the back of our mind when we're guiding our customers through that process. So right from the very beginning, from the design perspective, and whether it's a full-blown design or just choosing one off the shelf, it's important to consider what does that lot have to offer. So a lot of builders will, for a variety of reasons, just kind of skip that, and they'll just put a design that's a very nice design, and the design itself might satisfy the needs of the people living in, or an average person living in a community. But it misses on the available daylight and how the windows and different features of the home work within the lot.
Okay.
Beyond that, Brett will talk to you a little bit about how we build the home and different things we might have in store, such as our focus on sealing up the home for weather tightness and things like that.
So before we move on to you talking about the construction, one comment I have for people looking at new construction, with the design elements, most builders are trying to save money, and they don't always want to design with lighting in mind because that requires some changes to the plan. So in-house, how do you guys handle design changes that a client might have? Let's say this beautiful home, Lion Village, one of the most desirable neighborhoods in North Arlington. Let's say someone fell in love with this home and then you wanted to adapt it for another home site. How would you go about doing that?
Well, like I said, first starting off with that particular lot's orientation. If we were to build this house on the other side of the street, right here in Lion Village, other side of the street, it would at the very least need to be flipped around the whole floor plan.
Okay.
But beyond that, just depends on what's existing next door and trees, you name it. So yeah, we will work with our clients to achieve that. We're capable of doing a complete redesign. It costs more than if we are to reuse an existing design or a design that we've chosen for that lot ourselves from the start. But everything is customizable. So, but you can customize anything to suit your needs or the needs of the lot. But we also usually start, guiding our clients towards a design we think is already pretty darn good for that lot.
Okay, so we would take into consideration sunlight, the lot size, some plans that you've already done, and then we would customize that to fit the client's needs.
Yeah, we have clients all the time that come to us, look, I love this floor plan, I want this front elevation on the house. Can you do this? And we've done that. This very house, it's exactly what happened. They came to us with some ideas in mind. This didn't like the floor plan with that front elevation, but they like the floor plan from this other one, and we just made the two have to come together.
Excellent. So you can take someone's vision and help put that together into a reality.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay, so let's talk about some of the unique things in terms of the quality of construction and how you construct a home.
Okay, well, we're a small local builder, so each home gets a lot of attention. I personally inspect, at different stages of installation and construction to make sure the home's built to our standards, and they're very, high standards. So we double check, we triple check. If things aren't right, we'll come back and get them right.
Okay, that's excellent quality control. So you personally are on site managing the subcontractors and making sure that everything is as the homeowner requested?
Absolutely daily, so
Awesome.
thorough checks.
That's fantastic, and that's very rare. So in terms of some of the details that I've noticed, for example, it seems like, the ceiling detail, some of the design, and even the fireplace, for example, are things that you don't see every day in construction in Arlington. How did you kind of come up with some of these details in your construction?
Well, Matt does the design, so it starts there, and it's on paper. And we built some of these ceilings in the past. Some of our inspirations just looking at other architects' work. Sometimes we'll build something, we don't quite get it right the first time, so we'll take another try at it. But it takes a lot of attention, a lot of planning to build, to this level, to this detail.
Yeah, we're proud of our homes because we feel that every one of our clients gets their own individual home, not just something that comes out of a box. And every one of them is unique to its lot and unique to the client.
Okay, so for clients that are looking for one of your homes that are coming soon that may not be on the market yet, would you say the best thing to do is just contact us directly?
Absolutely.
Okay, and we do expect to have a lot of homes coming soon, so if you're looking for something that's not yet listed, give us a call.